What's up, guys? Today I'm going to give you a quick little walk around of the 2025 Toyota Sequoia with the iForce Max powertrain, 1794 edition, TRD off-road package. It has just about everything you could possibly imagine on one of these things. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm not going to do a super comprehensive review where I'm going over all the buttons and everything else on it, but just kind of highlighting the looks and some of the more basic features. Styling on this car is really aggressive compared to the old one. A lot more boxy, obviously using some of that Toyota Tundra design language there. But the grille is just absolutely massive, definitely taking some inspiration from the Lexus-sized grills. LED headlights, automatic high beams, some nice running lights there as well. Toyota still gives you LED fog lights down at the bottom here. One thing they've been doing on some of their TRD off-road variants that aren't like the souped up Pro models is they put this, I don't even know what you'd even really call it. It's almost like a splitter, but not. I know that's a terrible way to describe it, but it just hangs down really low. I'm sure it helps with drag and efficiency and all that stuff, but it definitely compromises the off-road capabilities of this truck, which is kind of a shame because it's super capable. I'll go over that in more detail soon, but just makes your approach angles a lot more sketchy, to say the least. Definitely a very minor thing to complain about, and I'm sure it can be easily removed, but just not something I love to see on some of these newer Toyotas. Do have these TRD wheels, which have become a signature for their TRD variants. Big thick sidewalls there. One other thing that goes along really well with those TRD wheels are these TRD running boards here. They're kind of that thick rhino line-esque material, super grippy. That way if it's covered in snow, ice, mud, anything else like that, never gonna have to worry about slipping out. Once again, it does kind of compromise a little bit of the off-road capabilities, but realistically, even the people who get the TRD variants of this thing are not gonna be using it off-road much, probably driving around in some, crazy Midwest winters, but that's probably the extent of it. You do get a nice 1794 edition badge in a couple different spots on this Sequoia. It's obviously going to be mirrored between the passenger door and the driver's door. Now, a slightly more controversial badge is going to be this iForce Max one right here. It is no longer has the V8 in it. Big, inefficient, but undeniably cool and reliable V8. It is now a turbocharged 6-cylinder hybrid motor. But it actually does have around 60 more horsepower than the old car and I think over 100 more pound-feet of torque, which is pretty impressive. I'm gonna go ahead and spin this, give you guys just a full 360-degree view of this thing. But yeah, honestly, it's a really good motor. I don't want to do like a driving review, but just to kind of go into it a little bit. The acceleration is impressive on these. I mean, the iForce powertrains in the 4Runner are particularly impressive because that's a smaller vehicle, right? But yeah, I mean, compared to the old one, I mean, the old truck was torquey, don't get me wrong, but you really lost a lot of power, especially in the top end. Whereas this iForce Max hybrid powertrain, it feels a lot more comfortable on the road. I mean, even if I'm going 60, 70 miles an hour down the highway and I need to get around a truck or something, you've got enough weight and you've got enough acceleration that it's really not gonna be an issue no matter, what speed you're going, within reason, of course. But very, very good looking. I love how much boxier it is. Honestly, it does look like more of a Land Cruiser, more of a 4Runner, which is absolutely the vibe they were going for and what they want me to say, I'm sure. But I was never a huge fan of the old Sequoia. I mean, they kept it around for, over a decade, right? So it just started to look really outdated toward the end. But this one has got all of their new design language and it's really, really nice. But speaking of really nice, I want to show you my favorite part about the 1794 edition, and that's the interior. So you have this sort of saddle brown, sorry Toyota, I need to look at the exact name, but you have these perforated leather seats, very high quality too. This doesn't feel like some of the old fake leather that, some of the old manufacturers used back in the day. But you've got this really nice wood trim as well here. Try to get that into frame for you. The steering wheel, because this does have the TRD off-road package, I love these steering wheels. These are some of my favorite ones. They've got the haptic touch features for the driver's assist, so all you really have to do is keep your hands on there and it'll keep driving for you. Got the nice TRD badging down there. Door panels, really, really beautiful. Soft touch materials all over, right? That's not so much soft touch there, but all of this is up here, and this is real stitching as well. Got some additional buttons down there, pretty basic stuff, you know, opening the gas tank, turning on your heated steering wheel, some driver's assist stuff, etc., etc. It's also got some Sequoia TRD Pro floor mats. Not sure if that's a press car exclusive or not. This is the TRD off-road technically, but let's be honest, the TRD trim levels have been getting more and more confusing over the last few years. They're all cool, but that doesn't mean they're all easy to understand. Those mats do kind of wrap across there. Captain's chair is in the middle here. They do have armrest, and one thing I like about them, see that? They're ratcheting, right? So if you want it really low, you can have it. If you want it kind of middle, you can, and if you want it high up, you can. That's an underrated feature in my opinion. A lot of these captain's chairs and these full-size SUVs don't do that. It sounds like a very minor thing to critique and point out, but trust me, if you know, you know. Let's go ahead and fold this seat up just so you can kind of see. That was very easy. So all I did was pull this lever up and it basically launched itself forward. So if you've got someone in the third row, which I've got folded down right now, they're not going to have any problem getting back there. Third row room is, well, it's a third row, all right? This isn't a limousine, so it's not exactly a lazy boy recliner back there, but it's usable. You know, you can fit a full-size adult back there if you really have to, but they would definitely prefer to sit here in the captain's seats. But useful in a pinch, absolutely. Got some additional controls down here. Heated and cooled seats in the back for both captain's chairs, which is pretty nice. You've also got a couple USB ports down here as well. USB-A, USB-C, and then you do have a traditional 3-prong household outlet down there as well. Little Toyota first aid kit. Sunshades for your rear passengers as well. Not automatic, but don't really expect them to be on a car like this. That's just stuff that is pretty easy to break, and being easy to break is not a part of Toyota's mantra, which is why we love them. Let's go ahead and close this back up here. Let's go ahead and spin this around again. We're going around the world here. Oop, that's the wrong way. Let's go the other way. Gives you a chance to look at this beautiful car again. All right, so let's check out rear seat storage. Automatic lift gate, of course. So this is the rear seat storage area with the seats folded down. You do have kind of an elevated cargo tray here. So if you want to hide some stuff under here and then fold this down, you can. You can also kind of move it on different levels. So if you want this to be a little higher up, you can move it here and then you have more room underneath it. It's super configurable. You've got another 3-prong power outlet back here too. Toyota's been putting those in the back of their SUVs for a long time, and I'm very glad they do. This button right here, that's how you fold your third row. It is power folding up and down. It's not just something that you, oops, it's yelling at me. It's okay, don't be afraid. Okay, just go back down. But anyway, yeah, it's power up and power down, which is nice to have. A lot of these cars, especially in the American world, you push a button and they'll fold down, but they won't fold back up. Once again, small thing to point out, but when you're paying $85,000, $90,000 for an SUV, these are good things to know about. Once again, obviously, passenger side is going to be pretty similar to the driver's side. You do have another 1794 edition there. All this wood feels pretty good. Nothing really feels cheap in here. The one thing that feels a little flimsy is your cover right here, but it's not that I think it's gonna break, it's just really big, right? Like that's my hand compared to this thing. So it's got a lot of weight it's moving around, but it works fine. it's just in a car that's, you know, almost perfect in terms of just quality. That's just one thing to point out. And then you do have a little tray right here, which is neat. You can hide change in there or whatever. And then this does lift up to reveal a full-size storage unit in there. Full-size storage unit. It's not exactly like you're keeping, you know, your household items in there, but, you know, you could give an infant a bath in there or something like that. I mean, it's pretty massive. Wireless charger down there. I do like that it's vertical. I don't like the ones that lay flat because I think it just takes up way too much room. Speaking of taking up too much room, you've got a traditional gear shifter. They have still not switched to electronic gear shifters that take up a lot less room because, frankly, these are probably just more reliable and their consumers are just used to that, and that's what they prefer. Honestly, I don't blame them. I do like that you've got this little TRD line with the TRD lettering there. Off-road controls are pretty simple. All electronic in terms of activating it, 2 high, 4 low. You do have some crawl controls, tow modes, various drive modes you all control with either these buttons here or this dial. Got some rear locking diff button there, heated and cooled seats up front. You've got a red TRD start button because why not? Sunglass holder up here, very, very nice. Once again, underrated in these cars. You don't get that in a ton. Fully panoramic sunroof. Sorry, I don't have that open for you right now. Like I said, this is just kind of a quick overview, not going to go super in depth with everything. But for those of you who are looking to purchase a 1794 TRD Sequoia or just a Sequoia in general and kind of want to know the general layout of everything, hopefully this will be helpful. Lots of cup holders and storage. Toyota's always been great about that. You've got upper level storage, lower level, and then of course the grab handle up here. There's the button to fold the rear, the third row up and down as well. You've got one in the very back and then one in the middle here. If you are looking at one of these compared to something like a Tahoe or an X7 or a Denali or something like that, each of them have their pros and cons. Honestly, I think this is probably my personal choice of all the full-size SUVs, but I'm a little biased. I've had 4Runners in the past and always been a big Toyota fan, but it's hard to knock reliability and it's hard to knock low levels of depreciation because these Toyota trucks just depreciate so much slower than all of their counterparts, especially the Germans. American full sizes aren't too bad, but compared to this, it just can't compete. Reliability, it's impossible to say. I mean, this is a fairly new powertrain, so it's hard to say what it's going to look like in 20 or 30 years, but like I say on my TikTok account when I was reviewing this car, we got to give Toyota the benefit of the doubt, right guys? I mean, they've been building fairly bulletproof engines for longer than I've been alive and longer than my mama and daddy have been alive as well. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt. This is a great looking truck. It's got some incredible features. They really they took everything that the old Sequoia did well and turned it up a notch, and they took everything it didn't do so well and just fixed it. So like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to comment on this video. I'll try to get back to you. Like I said, kind of experimenting with this style video. One take, it's not pretty, not edited, nothing like that. I'm not even in this one, but if you want to see more, let me know. Happy to do more of these. They are very easy at the end of the day, but yeah, very beautiful truck. Definitely recommend it. At least go test drive one at your local Toyota dealer. Really, really just awesome ride.